My boyfriend's friend group called me abusive because I talked during a movie. He took their side. My boyfriend and I have been together for a little over a year. He's the nerdy type, and I loved it. So when he wanted to start a D&D group with his friends, I agreed. I figured it was a good way to finally meet and impress his friends. It was my boyfriend, me, his two best friends from elementary school, and their boyfriends. So I was scared of being the odd one out. But when he introduced me to them, the girls both hugged me super tight and the boyfriend said I was now one of them. We completed an entire campaign, and the last sessions were in November. At this point, my boyfriend and I had been together for 1 year and 4 months. And had only had one argument due to a misunderstanding. We have a beautiful, loving relationship, the type that's straight out of a Disney movie. And yesterday, while I was with him, I saw a Facebook post about a movie that one of his friends, whom we'll call Elba, is obsessed with. I wanted to tag her, but her name didn't show up. So I searched my profile and saw that I no longer had her as a friend. I checked my boyfriend's profile and she didn't appear. My head flooded with anxiety as I tried to figure out what had happened, because everything seemed fine the last time I saw her. We laughed, and when we said goodbye, she hugged me and even wished me a very Merry Christmas. I mentioned it to my boyfriend, because I wanted him to check it out for me. But instead, he completely avoided the topic. Even when I asked him to check with her to see if she had deleted her account, he asked me to forget about it. But something in his tone told me he was hiding something. And guess what I found out? Yep, she blocked me. Literally out of nowhere, or so I thought. Because that's when my boyfriend finally showed me their text messages, and I felt like the worst friend to ever exist. A month ago, she messaged him asking, "Is everything okay with your GF?" and whether I had been abusive toward him. My boyfriend replied that everything was fine and asked why she was asking that. She said, "At the last gathering, your girlfriend yelled at me, attacked me, was aggressive toward me, and even turned red with rage. I was worried she might be abusive toward you, but if everything is fine, that's great to hear." You see, at the gathering I mentioned earlier, us ladies stayed at the table chatting about the Joker movie. I simply stated that there were dozens of inaccuracies regarding mental health. Like, there's no way Lady Gaga's character could have actually been a psychiatrist, simply because she's way too delusional. The other girlfriend, Sophia, supported my argument, adding that her profile wouldn't have allowed her to get into medical school. Meanwhile, Elba got furious, saying that if there were pedo priests, then there could also be crazy doctors. Sophia and I disagreed. We should know, as Sophia is a doctor, and I have a PhD in psychology and psychotherapy. Coming from a place of knowledge, we explained to her that it wasn't possible. It wasn't long before I realized nothing good could come from our argument. Plus, it was around 1 a.m., so we said goodbye and called it a day. But I guess the texts proved otherwise. So then my boyfriend replied to Elba, saying that he didn't see any violence that night, but wanted to understand where she felt it happened. She responded that I yelled at her. I expected my boyfriend to defend me, but instead he replied, "That's just how she is. She's a loud mouth. Her whole family is like that, especially her mom. She lost her temper and she can be crazy-ish at times, but everything is fine between us." I had to stop myself from crying while I felt my heart break in my chest, because not only do I feel like he agreed with her, but he spoke badly about my family, basically called me crazy, didn't defend me from an attack on my character. I calmly asked him to ask her why she blocked me. She's your girlfriend, and you can do whatever you want. But after seeing the way she attacked Sophia and her boyfriend, I don't care if she lives or dies, and I especially don't want her around me or my future kids. Plus, just so you know, we all think you can do better. My boyfriend replied, "Why do you think that?" And that was it. I was almost offended that he didn't even bother hiding the text from me. It was like he didn't see anything wrong with what he said. My hands trembled as I held the phone in my hand. I practically considered them family. And I hate to say it, but I was embarrassed. My boyfriend, the one that's meant to be my ride or die, didn't say anything in my favor. At that moment, I knew I was done with the group. So I texted a message into the group chat and left. I wanted nothing more than to stop being upset with my boyfriend, to crawl up together, and watch The Sound of Music for the 100th time. But instead, my phone was bombarded with texts, and my once amazing boyfriend turned his back on me when I needed him most. It all started when Elba sent a 5-minute voice note, followed by another 7-minute one. In the voice note, she yelled at my boyfriend saying, "Why did she send that? That stupid girl is childish and spoiled." The right thing to do would have been to message me directly to apologize and fix things, but no. She prefers everyone to find out so she can play the victim. She's manipulative and selfish. What matters here is you and that this is your group of friends, and she's ruining it and being abusive. And of course, that manipulative bee cries. What else can she do but act offended? She's a terrible person, so I don't want her near me. I don't even want to see her stupid face. If you want to keep her as your girlfriend, that's your problem. But I don't agree with it, and I hope that soon no one will want her around. I didn't ask my boyfriend what he replied to her because I couldn't stop crying. In the year I had been spending time with Elba, I never had an argument or conflict with her, and hearing her say all of that about me hurt deeply. Sophia and her boyfriend sent me private messages immediately after Elba's voice note. Sophia, "Baby, what happened? When have you ever been aggressive? Honestly, I've never noticed anything like that. Please don't apologize, you really don't need to. You're important to me, and I hope we can continue being close. Even though we haven't known each other for long, I already consider you a friend. You've helped me so much during my crises and supported me when my friend group broke apart. I care about you a lot, and I hope we stay friends." Sophia's boyfriend, "We saw what you wrote, but we've never felt anything like what you're describing. If we did or said something to make you think otherwise, we're truly sorry. We've never felt any aggression or anything of the sort. Neither Sophia nor I think that way. On the contrary, you've always been a great friend to us. If you ever felt a bad attitude from us, please forgive us too. Let's continue being friends. We care about you a lot." Elba's boyfriend messaged my boyfriend, saying saying he had to side with Elba, but admitted that everything had gotten out of hand and expressed how sorry he was about the situation. At this point, I felt better. With the support messages from Sophia and her boyfriend, I found the courage to tell my boyfriend, I can no longer be around Elba. I never want to be near her again, and you need to decide. Either you side with her and we end our relationship, or you side with me, keep her away from me, and understand that I never want to see her again in my life. My boyfriend got up and started saying I needed to stop talking. He said he was having a panic attack, that he couldn't make a decision like that, and that he never thought it would get to this point. He said he wasn't able to decide. I waited for him to calm down, gave him his anxiety pill, a glass of water, and once we were in a better place, I simply said, it's late, you should go home. Think about it, and we'll finish this conversation another day when we're calmer. He told me he didn't want to leave me like that. By that time, I had been crying for over 2 hours, but I insisted that for his safety, he should go home before 11 p.m., and that we could pause the discussion for now. I told my mom about it, and she's on my side, saying that my boyfriend didn't defend me, that he should have set boundaries with Elba, and that I'm in the right. Sophia and her boyfriend also make me feel like I didn't do anything Elba accused me of. Update. That day, I asked him to stop responding to her, as it was only giving her more ammunition to keep attacking me, and I didn't want him talking about me anymore. That same day, I realized he kept replying to her, and I knew he continued. We sat in the living room and I said, first, I want you to know I'm not angry. I'm sad and want us to talk and figure out how to fix this. I love you and want to know if you're okay and feel ready to talk. He told me he hadn't eaten because he was anxious about our talk, but otherwise, he was fine and wanted to talk too. I asked if he could show me what he had replied to Elba over the past few days. When he showed me, I saw that Elba kept sending hateful messages about me, and my boyfriend replied not by defending me, but by validating her with things like, why do you feel that way? I'm sure she didn't mean it like that. Let me talk to her. There were several voice notes of her attacking me and countless messages. I had blocked her a day before seeing him. She tried to contact me via text to clear things up. She sent him screenshots of her messages to me and said, she's immature, childish. Why did she block me? She has zero emotional intelligence and is manipulative. I returned his phone and told him 3 things before anything else. What I'm about to say doesn't mean we're breaking up. I want to continue as a couple. I will share decisions I've already made, not to punish you or make you feel bad. I love you, and nothing I'm about to say changes that. Context. We had been talking about getting married and moving in together by mid-next year or on our 2nd anniversary. When we discussed marriage, he said he only wanted a civil wedding, but I want a church wedding. Not just because it's important to me, but also to my family. He said he didn't want to stand before a pedo priest and didn't even want the civil ceremony, only to live together. I told him no, that my family, a bit more traditional, and I wanted to do it the right way. He replied, if your mom never got married, why would she care if you don't? At the time, I didn't think much of it, but it feels like a huge red flag after all this. I told him I wanted to cancel our marriage plans and move in together. I explained that we weren't in a healthy place and needed to resolve these issues before taking such an important step. I also clarified that I didn't want him to stop seeing his friends or playing D&D, and that he should continue doing so out of respect for Sophia and her boyfriend. Finally, I told him I needed time to heal, that my heart was broken, and I wasn't acting out of anger but trying to give us space to heal and figure out how, and if, we can stay together. He lost it. He had another panic attack. Crying, he begged me not to cancel our plans, saying he loved me, didn't want any of this, and felt I was punishing him. After pressing him, he finally admitted what he thought when he validated Elba's points. The campaign is really important to me. I know it's childish, but I'd already written things for your character, and you must play with me and my friends. If I cause problems, the group might disband. If I don't side with Elba, she'll isolate me and turn everyone against me, like she did with Chris, a friend who was also part of the group but got excluded because Elba hated her boyfriend. And if I disagree with her, we'll lose our friendship with the group. I waited for him to calm down, then told him what I thought about everything he'd said. I'm not asking you to leave your friends. I've always believed couples should have friendships or groups outside the relationship. I never asked you to leave them. I asked you to defend me, set boundaries, or respect that I can no longer be around Elba. And everything you're saying confirms what I've been thinking. I can't stay in the same group with her. Even if Sophia still invited me to her wedding, I'd go only to congratulate her and then leave. If you want to stay for the party, I wouldn't be upset, but I won't risk being in a place with Elba and alcohol. And what you're saying shows me this too. I'm not your priority. Your priority is your D&D group and your friends. I'm not. And that's another reason we're not in a place to think about living together, because our priorities aren't aligned. He asked for time to fix this, saying he wanted to redeem himself and start acting differently to show me I'm his priority. He asked me to put our plans on pause instead of canceling them. I told him, for example, about the church wedding. I feel there's no middle ground because I'm the one pressuring for it. If it happened, people would think I manipulated him. If I were his priority, he'd at least consider it without those comments because it's important to me. Now, I feel like I'm manipulating him, as Elba claims. He asked me to stop mentioning her, but I told him I couldn't because I now see her as being in the middle of our relationship. We talked a bit more, coming back to the same conclusion. I'm not his priority, and he needs to talk to Sophia and her boyfriend to avoid losing them. The next day, after we talked, he sent me a voice message saying he reread the conversation and felt angry. Initially, he thought I was exaggerating, but during our talk, I pointed out several parts where Elba insulted and belittled him, and where she tried to manipulate him, e.g., you're slow, but if you're smart, you'll see how violent your girlfriend is. And, I'd hate to have to disband the group as we did with Chris, but people like your girlfriend shouldn't be around us. After rereading, he realized I was right and wasn't reacting emotionally. What hurt him most about our convo was when I said, right now, I couldn't sleep with you if we were living together. I feel sad, and tonight, I'll shower, have dinner, and go to bed with my dog. It comforts me to know you won't be there, so I can cry and be with my thoughts, and you don't feel responsible for making me feel better. I need to sit with my feelings, not with you. When I said that, he told me, at that moment, I understood that I wasn't a safe space for you. You're right. I can't be a good husband or life partner because I'm not giving you what you need: security, protection, and care. You are not being manipulative. You are sharing your needs and what I should be doing as a good BF. Instead of trying to soothe Elba, I should have been comforting you and taking you away from her and from all the damage. This afternoon, he spoke with Sophia and her boyfriend and told them everything. They were shocked but asked us to have dinner with them to talk. From the messages, I can tell we'll still be able to maintain a friendship with them. He set a firm boundary with Elba, telling her he couldn't allow her to keep speaking to us that way. He blocked her and apologized to her boyfriend for the drama, saying he still considered him a friend, but understood if he had to pick sides. I know this isn't the update many wanted. I understand that ending this relationship is what many would have chosen, but I need to give this a chance for his sake and my own. He's a good guy, despite how it might seem. He always tries to show me he loves me. His coming around and giving me my place makes me think we might be able to work it out. And I feel like this whole drama is due to external forces and issues we must work on as a couple and as individuals. My BF mentioned that he felt like he lost me. Even when I told him that I was not breaking up with him, he said, "I let you down so hard that only because you are mature and amazing, you stayed with me. I want to prove to you that I deserve you." Sophia and her boyfriend have been supportive, and we've created a new group with just the four of us so we can stay in touch and plan double dates. That genuinely makes me happy and gives me some comfort about the situation.